Can a critic have a testimony? Welcome to Bible on the Go with Dr. Dan. You know, in the Gospel of Matthew and throughout the New Testament, we see at times where there are critics about Jesus. And in two of the Gospel writings, we see this, and it starts surprisingly, or depending on what you already know, not surprisingly, when the scholars and wise men came from the east because they'd seen Jesus' star while they were in the east, and they came to Jerusalem and they said, "Where is he that is born of the Jews? We have seen his star in the east and have come to worship him." Well, King Herod, who is identified by scholars as crazy King Herod, was paranoid, and quite paranoid, I should say. And in Matthew 2:3, we get this account. When King Herod heard this, he was alarmed, and all Jerusalem with him, which is a euphemism for he was the king, so it affected everybody. After assembling all the chief priests and the experts in the law, he asked them where the Christ was to be born. Now, think about this for a second. He, because of his might and his power, crazy King Herod had all the resources that he needed to get access to the best of the best chiefs, chief priests, and scholars and experts in the law. And guess what they said in Matthew 2:5, in Bethlehem of Judea? I mean, it was just like, boom. It said Bethlehem of Judea. They said, "For it is written this way by the prophet." And then quoting from Micah 5:2, they said, "And you, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, are in no way least among the rulers of Judah. For out of you will come a ruler who will shepherd my people Israel." This is a direct quotation from Micah 5:2, which now, 2,000 years after Jesus, we certainly understand as prophetic and ends up being a blessing. Motivated by a critic, they quote from Micah 5:2 and ends up being a predictive prophecy about Jesus. Well, in John's Gospel of Belief in chapter 7, verse 40, we see a similar thing happening when there are reactions about Jesus and things that he had been declared to be the Christ. And when they heard these words in John 7:40, some of the crowd began to say, "This really is the prophet." Others said, "This is the Christ." But still others said, "No, for the Christ does not come from Galilee, does he?" Well, they weren't paying attention, were they? Okay. And then they said, "Don't the scriptures say that Christ is a descendant of David and comes from Bethlehem, the village where David lived?" Oh my goodness, it was common knowledge among the Jewish people that the Messiah would come from Bethlehem and would be in the line of David. Makes it very clear now, doesn't it, when you see in Matthew chapter 1, when he starts off by saying the book of the generation of Jesus Christ, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, Isaac begot Jacob, Jacob begot Judas and his brethren, and on it goes, till it gets to Jesse begot David, the king of whom was, and then it just goes on and on and on. I was already jumped to the end of the chapter. But I'm telling you, the amazing thing is, among these who were processing belief and criticizing Jesus, they were well aware of the predictive prophecies in Micah 5:2 that Bethlehem would be the place where the Messiah would be born. And is it any surprise to us that that's exactly where Jesus was born? Because Joseph went from Nazareth with his Mary, who's espoused to be his wife, and because of Caesar's decree that all the world should be taxed. And Joseph was the legal father of Jesus. Once Jesus was born, he took him as his own son, which is very much in accordance with Jewish law. And so it's really something that this little town of Bethlehem that Martin Luther coined, that great hymn, Christmas hymn, "Oh, Little Town of Bethlehem," was well known by the time of Jesus that it would be the place from where the Messiah would come. This is not just Christian fantasy. It's not just Christian myth. It's Christian history. That Jesus was born in Bethlehem. That Bethlehem, of course, was the city of David. And now archaeologists have uncovered the city of David. And in fact, the actual inscription, the city of David, several years ago. And of course, we know where Bethlehem is. Look what the Lord has done in the little town of Bethlehem. Thanks for watching Bible on the Go. If you like these videos, you can subscribe, you can like, you can share, you can keep watching the videos. Even on my channel, search for any topic you want because we have 339 videos now. And to God be all the glory. Thank you for watching. Praise God.